Hi, I'm James Crocker, founder and president of Waterblasting Technologies. I want to talk to you for just a couple of minutes about spare parts and where you ought to buy them. And perhaps more importantly, where you shouldn't buy them. What should the motivation be when selecting where you're going to buy your spare parts? Well, I think too often the motivation can be price and price alone. And the price, as people think about it, may be the price that they pay for the spare part. What they may not realize is how much time and energy that I've invested in making sure that you're equipped with the best product at a fair price. I've been doing this now for 26 years. I've been squirting water. It's my life, and I love every minute of it. Every day when I wake up, it's my inspiration, it's my passion, and I live for this stuff. What is this stuff? Well, take the issue of the nozzle alone. Throughout the year, there'll be likely no part that you spend more money on than the nozzle. I've used nozzles from more than 10 suppliers and always came back around to the single supplier that we use to this day. Why? The parts last longer. The parts make a sharper, more direct stream of water than the competitive product, and they do so for a longer distance, which gives a greater amount of flexibility in your standoff distance and allows for curvature of the road or adjustments in your brush to road height, etc. In the end, there are many examples I could give you of customers who tried. I remember one customer in particular that decided to change filter cartridge suppliers. But the difficult part is that any one of these examples I give you, I could literally spend an hour talking about the ins and outs of that particular component and how central it is to driving success of the overall unit. So this particular customer, instead of paying $18 for a filter cartridge from Waterblasting, instead they were paying $9, but the cartridge they were buying didn't fit the housing correctly, and that $9 per unit savings translated into many thousands of dollars in valves, packings, and plunger cost before they caught the problem and corrected it. I don't think that you want you or your staff experimenting with proven success. The amount of money that you'll save on an annual basis will pale in the comparison of how much productivity it costs you and how much money in other spare parts that you didn't contemplate at the end of the day. I think of another example of a customer that decided to build their own spray bar protectors. So they went to a local sheet metal shop and attempted to replicate that protector. They made one small error. The holes that hold the spray bar on the spray shaft, the cotter pin holes, were placed on opposite sides. So when the customer put it on the spray bar, the leading edge of the spray bar as it came around was not the protected edge. Instead, it was the exposed edge. And when I visited across the sea, and this customer presented a pile of spray bars that were ruined as a result of the improper side of the spray bar being protected, I explained that there must have been some internal error, and here again, they tried to save $5 or $10 a piece on the spray bar protectors, and in the long run, they cost themselves many thousands in spray bars. I could literally give example after example of this dynamic. We recently visited a client who had attempted to build his own water blasting machine. And after 2 days of looking, found many errors, but perhaps the most notable was just one error that introduced air into the stream of water being produced, and as such, the turbulence in that stream cut the productivity of the machine in half. Imagine the fuel, the fuel cost, the time and overtime, payroll cost, all of the cost associated with achieving maximum productivity that customer has absorbed over the last 5 years, it's incomprehensible. I would love to visit with you. I would love to host a visit with you. I would personally take a half a day of my time and host your visit. Come here, we'll talk about the spares, each one by one individually, what it does, what the history of it is, why the material composition and the quality of construction is what it is. I think at the end of the day, I could easily convince you that you're best off purchasing the quality that you'll purchase right here. I remember another incident that happened recently where we specify a very specific grease be used that's a high temperature grease on a particular component. And unfortunately, in the warranty consideration, we found a different colored grease, entirely different composition, is not rated for the heat. And so this particular part was not warranted. So you just stay away from all of that. You receive the maximum warranty evaluation when we can demonstrate that you purchase your spare parts here. I promise you that I will always work to ensure that we are the Home Depot of the parts business. You might find a part for $1 or $2 less, but you're never going to find it for $5 or $10 less. And if you do, it's going to be a radically different part than what you buy from us. I've said it for years, I want to be the Home Depot of the parts business. You might go somewhere else and find a 2x4 for 10 cents cheaper, but it's probably going to be a crooked one. I commit that to you. You know, we have millions of dollars in spare parts here. You are buying a support network of people who care deeply about your success and about your runtime, your downtime. We provide convenient ordering 24 hours a day, 7 days a week through our online store. If you have a part you need and you need to get to bed, because a lot of times these jobs are at night, or you speak a different language, and perhaps a picture of the part would go a long ways towards helping you identify exactly which part you need, the online store is just an awesome way to make that happen. One last point that I'll make is that when you help build and maintain a strong water blasting, this year, our research and development budget was well in excess of $1 million. So I am always working to better the product, to come up with better and better mechanisms and ways to ensure that you and your company, your people, are a success, and that you're more profitable than you were before you bought a Stripe Hog, and more than you were even last year. Thank you for believing in us enough to watch this video, and I hope that if you have any further questions, you can contact me directly. My contact information is all online, including my cell phone. Call or text me 24 hours a day, 7 days a week. Thank you.